So I recently took my kids to get a COVID test, right? It was one of those drive-through test sites. Pretty good, sufficient. They required me to wear a mask the entire time, which was fine, it's understandable. They kind of lost me though, the way that they had it set up. So it was essentially a barn that you drive up into, and there's a small opening on either side for the entrance and the exit. Otherwise, it's completely enclosed. So as you drive up in there, there's 3 separate lines. There's about 3 vehicles in each line. As I drive up there, I realize that most of these vehicles are still running their engine, right? So now I know that COVID has been difficult these last 2 years, but seriously, people, suicide is not the answer, okay? With all these vehicles running, right? Nobody knows whose exhaust is killing who. So now we're in an assisted suicide situation, right? Hey buddy, if you kill me, I'll kill you. But then, there's also some unwilling participants there, right? So we've now escalated this to a murder-suicide situation. I get it though, right? We're trying to prevent the spread of COVID. It's admirable. But they're like, hey, why don't you get out of my face with your superfluous concerns of asphyxiation, okay? Yeah, we're concerned with COVID over here. We're not gonna be distracted by your shenanigans with carbon monoxide, okay? Everybody knows that global warming isn't real anyway, okay? So, here's the thing though. I just lost my place. One thing at a time. All right?
Global warming.
Global warming. So, speaking of Spanish, I learned some Spanish when I was out in Spain. I was a missionary out there. And I was over at a buddy's house and I was telling him and his family about this experience. And his sister, adult sister, mind you, she was very interested in what I had to say about this. She was asking me all these questions. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you went to Spain. That's so cool. What language do they speak over there? So I started laughing, right? It's a great joke. Said it with a straight face, spot on delivery. Except I'm the only one that's laughing. She's serious. Her whole family is looking at me expectantly, right? Including my buddy, which also happens to speak Spanish. And they're all looking at me like, hey, are you going to answer her question or what? What language do they speak over there? So I'm like, Spain-ish? What do you want from me? When I was over in Spain, I also taught English classes over there. And I found out that a lot of people were trying to learn English because they wanted to go visit the United States or over to the UK, right? And so one day in class, I told them, it's like, hey, you really need to get the English down before you head over to the United States. Because if you don't, they're gonna think you're Mexican. They were outraged by this. They're like, well, I'm Bolivian. I'm from Spain. I'm from Ecuador. I'm from, insert some country that speaks Spanish, right? And I'm like, well, that's great, but it doesn't really matter because if you can't explain to them that in English, you're Mexican. That's just how it goes in America. We're very inclusive. So, swear words are fun, right? Especially learning another language. They really don't, carry a lot of meaning for you. So, the worst thing you can say in Spain is que me cago en tus muertos. I shit on your dead people. So I had somebody actually scream this at me once. It was a good time. I'm a little bit of a prankster. I enjoyed throwing water balloons from my balcony out at cars, right? I had another missionary buddy that would do this with me. We could never seem to hit our target though. We were always missing. My last night in Spain, we had one water balloon left. My buddy decides to throw this water balloon when I'm not even looking, right? It's my last night there. I give him this guilt trip, like, how dare you do this? This is my last night. So he heads inside, and next thing I know, he comes back out to the balcony, and he has a plastic grocery bag, completely full of water. Water is like spilling out over the sides, out of the holes, and he's like holding it, he's like, it's leaking. He's from Slovenia, by the way. So I'm like, well, get rid of it. Look, there's a car right there. Just throw it at that car. So he hucks this grocery bag full of water over the balcony railing. Heads down. We're on the 5th floor, by the way. And all of the other water balloons up to this point, complete failure, except for this one. So the buildings out in Europe, right, they're all really close together. And this water bag hits its target right on top of the roof of the car, right? Goes off like a shotgun, just reverberates through the entire street. The guy gets out, he is very upset. He starts screaming, you know, like, as far as he knows, there was like a velociraptor that just jumped on the roof of his car, right? Hijo de puta! Son of a bee sting. Que me cago en todos tus muertos. Hey, I shit on all of your dead people, okay? Not just a few dead people, not just one or two, every single one of your dead people. Shit, okay? All right, thank you. That's all I have for tonight. I'm Matthew.